Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today, I'll be answering a viewer's question. He asked, what does compatibility means? Is it culture, religion, hobbies, etc., or is this an immature definition of compatibility? And why compatibility issue appears when the dumper decide to break up, as they never knew the differences between them and their exes for years of the relationship. Thank you for your question. This is an important topic, and I can understand why it can be confusing for a dumpee. If you would like to know my take on it and how understanding compatibility can help you determine if your ex is the one for you, then keep on watching. Before we begin, don't forget to subscribe and click on the notification bell so you don't miss any new videos. Also, please consider supporting me on Patreon if you find this helpful. As always, I'm available for coaching at healingafterbreakup.com. So, what is compatibility? In a nutshell, compatibility describes how two things, or in the case of a relationship, two people are capable of existing or living together in harmony without conflict. Now, I know what you're thinking. My ex and I have a lot of things in common, like having shared hobbies, common interests, completing each other's sentences, like the same food, and maybe even have the same birthday. If that's not a sign that we're a true soulmate, then I don't know what is. Although I'm not dismissing these things, having shared interests and random coincidences are not true compatibility markers for maintaining a successful, happy, long-term relationship. So let's get this first misconception out of the way. Superficial common interests and happy coincidences are not signs of long-term compatibility. They may be great for a conversation starter, small talk, or starting a friendship, but they are not strong enough to ground an intimate relationship for the long haul when two lives are blended together with daily life stressors and challenges. If this is what your relationship is built on and nothing else, then it is as flimsy as using Scotch tape to fix a broken vase. On the other hand, you can have normal differences between two people and still be compatible as a couple. What is considered normal differences versus true incompatibility or deal breakers is very subjective. But what you can ask yourself is this: is what my partner doing bothering me enough that I won't be happy unless they change it? Or, what am I not getting from this relationship that I deeply need to be satisfied? Whatever that is your deal breaker. It can be something small that only you recognize or care about, but it's nonetheless important to you. If you cannot accept your partner as they are, then there's no point of continuing the relationship because you two are clearly not compatible. This part can be tricky because in the early stages of dating, people may not know what they want, or they are too infatuated by lust and confuse incompatibility as normal differences, downplaying these red flags as nothing, and then later on realize that it was a deal breaker that they could not stand. I will elaborate more on this later. So what is really the glue that binds a couple together and help them relate to each other harmoniously, even if they have normal differences? I believe it's having shared core values in love and life with mutual reciprocity and respect for our differences. Let's look at this core value list. For the love side, obviously, you must love one another, find each other physically attractive, and are sexually compatible. Of course, looks and sexual libido can change as you age, but the real question remains: do you still love one another and desire to be together regardless of these changes? This is the enduring love and passion that transcend outer appearance. Clearly, if your ex left you, either their love is no longer there or they were only interested in you physically, or if they do love you, you guys didn't have enough shared life values to make it work. For the life side, these are big things that most couples fight or break up over because they try to force their own values onto each other unsuccessfully. See how much of these values you and your ex actually shared. future vision as a couple. This includes things such as marriages and partnership or short fling only. Do you guys want children or not? How are you going to raise the kids? Where are you guys going to live? Career ambition, gender roles, responsibility, and expectation. Religious beliefs and practices. Is this a Sunday thing or a full-on lifestyle, like for some fundamentalist group? Culture and family values. How much parental or cultural expectation of who you can date or marry? Who makes the final decision in your choice of partner? Baggages. Are there any addiction, mental illness, ex-spouse, children, or other emotional or financial responsibility? Money management. Who paid for what and how much? Your credit history, debt, spending and saving habits. Any lifestyle differences? Are you guys more routine or spontaneous? Your fitness, diet, partying versus staying in, organized versus messy, time spent with friends versus as a couple. Different life stages. Are you guys at the casual and fun stage, career building, settling down, midlife, or retirement? Political views. And lastly, power dynamic struggles, such as age gap, life experiences, money, status, and privilege. The more two people share these life and love values, the more compatible they are to build a lasting life together. Ideally, the one perfect person for you will fit you in both areas of love and life. If you have someone who you only share love and passion for, but is mismatched in life values, it will be an extremely volatile relationship with lots of argument and fights. On the other hand, if you are more compatible in life but not in love, then it would feel like a loveless relationship, although you guys work great as partners. Essentially, you need to ask yourself honestly, did you guys see things eye to eye and want the same thing now and in the future? If one person wants kids and live in the suburbs in 5 years, while the other only want to stay in the city, living the child-free life indefinitely, then you guys are too incompatible to make it work. These are true deal breakers, and there's no way to deal with it without making one or both people extremely unhappy. Of course, this makes a lot of sense in hindsight, but perhaps you or your ex never have these tough conversations, or it seems like these issues only come to light when they broke up with you, but not during the relationship. This is where we have a second misconception. Incompatibility does not magically appear during the breakup, but it may be the only time where you take it seriously because the stake is high. The person you love is leaving you. Like most red flags, they have been there all along since the beginning. The question is, why do we miss it or ignore them to our own detriment? This is because most people date with their eyes wide shut. They can't see their partner accurately or the situation clearly enough to make the best decision for themselves. Many are misguided by hormones and impulses versus a clear and realistic value system. And most are unaware of the 4 main stages that every relationship goes through. The first one is idealization. This is the honeymoon period where you guys are in love, seeing only the best of each other through thick, rose-tinted glasses. You might think you've found the one and believe that your love can overcome anything. Red flags are ignored or minimized because being with them feels so good, fun, and exciting. Any differences are painted in the most positive light. For example, if he acts arrogant and aggressive, you think it's a sign of confidence. If she's fussy or high maintenance, you think it's great that she likes to look nice for you. You exchange I love yous and future promises to each other without really understanding what it really takes to meet those promises. Stage 2 is a reality check. This is where love meets reality to see how compatible you guys really are in those life values. Love in theory is not enough until it is applied in everyday life situation. Even if you never discuss them openly, Life will shove these challenges in your face, forcing you to confront and get clear about what it is that you really want and whether or not the person you're with is the right one for you. You may start seeing how selfish, controlling, or insensitive your partner is toward your feelings or needs. But as long as there's still enough love and hope, you might push down your feelings or needs by minimizing them or making excuses for your partner. And if you have low self-esteem or fear being alone, you will hang on for dear life. Beggars can't be choosers. So you tell yourself, as long as they treat me well and say I love you, I can overlook all these personal flaws. It's not a big deal, or that's just who they are. This is disappointed acceptance. Soon you develop a habit of living in denial, choosing not to see, hear, or speak about the reality of what is happening. Red flags are everywhere, but no one wants to talk about it. Or when you guys try to work things out, it erupts into fights and argument. But you still enjoy the kiss and makeup afterwards. So things keep moving along and you think everything is okay, or make this dysfunction your new normal in the relationship. We fight, then we make up. It's no big deal. Stage 3, disillusionment. This is where one or both of you can't take it anymore. You're frustrated, tired, and fed up. The person you love is now the one making your life a living hell. You start asking if this is all worth it. The bad times are really bad, and the good times are few and far in between. Love and hope are fading, and you can't ignore the things you stuffed down earlier. This is where some people fall out of love with their partner because they stop idolizing them and nitpick every flaws they see, even though these things didn't bother them that much in the first place. It's not like those flaws were never there, but now it has become intolerable. Those personal habits or quirks are now annoying and disgusting. Love turns into hate, but really it's just a buildup of anger and resentment over the years of unhappiness and denial. This is the moment of truth. Something or someone has to change if this relationship is to survive. Each person points their fingers at the other to fix things, and no one wants to take responsibility for their part. Eventually, this stage leads to two possible paths. One path is to break up due to irreconcilable differences. And path 2 is that both people need to grow up, take responsibility, and change to salvage the relationship. Unfortunately, humans naturally resist change, and most lack the maturity to navigate this difficult stage. So many of them falls apart here. So really what you see as shocking about your ex's behavior when they break up with you is really their reaction to things that have been slowly building up over the years, but were never really addressed. It could be that they were not being honest with you or with themselves, or they slowly come to the realization during the relationship that you guys are no longer compatible enough to keep trying. You have outgrown each other or grown apart, and the love is no longer there to make it worthwhile. I know this won't make your pain of losing them go away, but I hope this will help you gain a different perspective on this topic. I wish you all the best. Thank you for watching. Take care, and I'll talk to you soon.